Recently, me and my girlfriend finished Cowboy Bebop, an absolute classic of an anime, and it got me thinking. You've definitely heard it before. Back in my day, used to be better, new stuff sucks. All of those kinds of phrases being used for really anything, but particularly media like shows or games. So, were they really? Did we really just make things better back in the day? Is it kinda just the same as always, or could media possibly even be getting better nowadays? That's what we'll be talking about. So really we'll be looking at the three main reasons these feelings come about, being nostalgia, visibility, and legacy. Nostalgia's obvious, and I don't feel like I have to explain it all that much. Think of something you really enjoyed as a kid or during a better part of your life, especially when you were a really little kid. Think of the weirder stuff that makes you sort of happy or hyped to see it, even though you look at it now and think it's a bit cringe or just bad. Stuff that just makes you happy for no other reason than it reminds you of the good old days or a happier time. This is a really strong factor for why people might consider media being better back in their day or just having gotten slowly worse over time, is because the things they are seeing now are not colored by the same rose-tinted glasses that same piece of media would be colored by if they had watched it when they were a child. It's not that these pieces are actually better or worse, it is simply that they have a connection to that piece already, and that innately makes the piece better for them regardless of the actual quality of it. For example, I'm not watching like Minecraft music video fighting animations anymore, but somehow, even though I know they're bad or I think they're kind of cringe now, I see them and I kind of get hyped for it. And that's the power of nostalgia, is that regardless of the quality of a piece, because you're looking at it through these rose-tinted glasses, it makes it better. Visibility really is just the fact that new things are more visible than old things. Are you constantly bombarded by the same stuff you would have been in 2010, 2000, 1990? No, you're not. The stuff even close to the front of your mind is not a terrible gamer show that came out 5-10 years ago. It's the terrible one you just saw Moist Critical ranting about yesterday. And both of these points lead into legacy. If you aren't constantly seeing something and it's really not worth remembering, then why are you going to? Bad media has always existed, but you just don't remember it because it's not worth remembering. And even a lot of the stuff that's just like, okay, you're also not gonna remember. I don't know how many silent films you guys have seen. I've seen quite a few at this point, and they were making slop back then. There are absolutely great pieces of media from back then that have endured because of legacy and because of nostalgia, and because at the end of the day, they're the ones that were good enough to physically survive the complete movement away from silent film, pretty much. Bad media has always existed, but you're not going to remember it. There is going to be no legacy for it because no one's going to bother really saving it or even thinking about it and talking about it. So no one's ever going to know it existed. There is no reason to do so. So you're not going to. Do I remember every single different cartoon I watched when I was like 8? No, absolutely not. Do I remember Max Steel and Slugterra? Hell yeah. People remember these things because they are great and filter out the stuff not worth remembering because it's exactly that, not worth remembering. You also have to consider that things just move faster now too. Games are cheaper and easier to make, industries are larger, and the spaces are far more competitive. Is there issues with modern media? Absolutely. Microtransaction culture in gaming sucks. Poor management across the board in these bloated media industries sucks. And there's many, many more issues. These are just a few that happened to come up in my mind when I was writing this script. However, there were issues back then. And the only reason why it gets put out of the mind is because it's both not visible and, frankly, it's easier to make this stuff now. The issue is not that content has gotten worse. If anything, it's gotten better overall. It's that it's just gotten so easy to make this stuff since the inception of video sharing sites like YouTube and Twitch, free software like Unity, game sharing platforms like Steam, and all of these new tools that have come out that allow any random person and significantly less talented individuals to just throw something together and release it out into the wild. Nyan Nico Sugar Girls wouldn't exist in the 90s. It just wouldn't be a thing when Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop were released, because an average Joe couldn't just release whatever they wanted at any quality they wanted. They had studios and deadlines and all of these things, and that was the only way anyone was really able to mass release media. So no, media was not just better in the good old days. It was just harder to get out. Frankly, I love that it's so easy to release things now. Sure, there are issues now, but there were issues then. And the only reason they seem as bad as they do now is because the media industry as a whole has expanded so significantly over the 20, 30 years that for every great piece, there's that many more bad ones. I hope you all enjoyed my little rant here. And if you want to hear more of my general thoughts on whatever, generally games, stick around. I don't know what I'll be working on next. There may be a Black Ops 7 review coming, particularly for zombies, if I can get myself to play the game. If there's anything you guys would like to hear about, any particular game you guys might want to see me play or talk about, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.